Hassan-Nahoum, who's the special envoy for the Israeli Foreign Ministry. So pick up on the impact maybe those hostages being in the Oval Office had on the process, potentially.
Well, how could it not? Imagine all these hostages have been through a personal Holocaust. Many of them have been in captivity for a year and a half, being abused, treated very badly, starved, especially Ali Sharabi, cynically being given false hope that his wife and daughters who were murdered on October 7th were alive. So the president speaks to somebody like that and understands the monstrosity of this terrorist group that is still holding 30 live hostages, including an American.
Right.
How could it not?
So he shot off a message right after that on social media, a long message, but it ended with, as I said, it's over for you if you don't, get your act together, essentially, Hamas, and let the rest of the hostages out. But they didn't, like they gave in on that. So where are we now?
We're talking about an ISIS-style, monster-style terrorist organization. They're not going to say we're done because President Trump. But essentially what President Trump has done is made it very clear that they cannot continue ruling. And even the Arab countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE that are supposed to be part of the reconstruction of Gaza are saying very clearly what President Trump said first. Hamas cannot continue to rule the Gaza Strip because who is going to put any investment in the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip when there is a terrorist ISIS-style organization ruling it?
So what's the next move, say, from Netanyahu's point of view? He's got, obviously, the president saying this, it's over for you. So say Hamas doesn't come forward. And we're even talking about phase 1 to phase 2, or is it a totally different conversation right now?
So at the moment, they're talking about either extending phase 1, which means more days of quiet for more living hostages, or starting new negotiations for phase 2, which I think is more complicated.
But that would be a different phase 2 than the one we talked about.
It would be a phase 2. I'm not sure if it would be the same or not. But ultimately, what President Trump has done is given Netanyahu the confidence to do what he needs to do to end this war and get the hostages home. Whereas in Israel, there's really an understanding that with the previous administration, Netanyahu was fighting with his hands tied behind his back. And so that is what President Trump has kind of let out.